King Harris's girlfriend breaks silence with terrifying claims that shake Hollywood, exposing brutal control, hidden violence, and conspiracy buried deep within his famous family roots, forever changing everything nobody expected. The question is King Harris in more trouble than we realized? And how deep does this go? So, let us get into the full story of what happened with King Harris, his girlfriend, the court situation, and the events that led to this. To understand what is happening right now, you have to understand who King Harris is and how this entire situation developed over time. Clifford Joseph King Harris III was born on August 25th, 2004. He is the son of rapper T.I. and R&B singer Tamika Tiny Harris, and part of the Harris family, which has appeared on various reality television shows. That means from the moment King entered this world, cameras were on him, microphones were pointed at him. He was born into a family where fame was a default setting, not the exception. Harris is an American celebrity kid born on August 25th, 2004 in Atlanta, Georgia, United States. King is the son of Clifford Joseph Harris Jr. and Tamika Diane Cottle. His father, famously known as Tip or T.I., is an American rapper, singer, songwriter, actor, record producer, and entrepreneur. At the same time, Harris's mom is also a successful singer and songwriter and a member of the R&B vocal group Xscape. So you have a father who is one of the biggest names in Southern hip-hop history, and a mother who has been involved in the music industry since the 1990s with Xscape. He grew up in a large blended family, including half-siblings such as Zonique Pullins, Messiah, Domani, and Deja, many of whom are active in music and entertainment. This is not a small family. This is a family that is constantly in the public eye. Harris began pursuing music under the stage name Kid Cyan in 2020, experimented with trap music and melodic hip-hop through his early singles About That and Bad Intentions. He followed with the EP A Thin Line Between a King and Apple in 2021, featuring tracks like Young, Wild and Reckless, and Bust Down, marking his shift from reality TV personality to recording artist. So, King was not just sitting around living off his parents' name. He was making a real effort to build his own lane in music. He released his debut album Wild Rocker in 2021. King has gained more attention mainly by posting content that highlights his singing and performing abilities across social media platforms, especially Instagram. And that part right there is important, the Instagram presence, because it was on social media that many of King's issues first started becoming visible to the public. He joined the improv comedy series Wild 'N Out and made a guest appearance on the 2021 episode of the competition series Wash Wars. In 2023, also appeared on Dish Nation as himself. King was appearing on television. He was getting bookings. He was on a path that most celebrity children would consider a solid start. But this is where things started to change. In September 2022, Harris was involved in a verbal argument at a Waffle House in Atlanta that gained public attention after a video surfaced. His parents addressed the incident publicly, defending him while acknowledging the challenges of growing up in the spotlight. That Waffle House moment was the first time many people outside the reality TV audience noticed King Harris for reasons unrelated to his music or his parents' fame. The video spread online, and people began forming opinions. Harris also drew attention for his outspoken presence on social media, where he often clashed with critics and responded to commentary about his family, a pattern that repeated itself. King was not one to stay silent. If someone had something to say, he responded. That approach brought attention, but also situations his parents couldn't control. This was just a start, because what came next moved things from social media drama to real-world consequences. The situation with his girlfriend, which has the internet talking, is part of a larger story involving police, courts, his parents, and even other rappers. King Harris's name didn't suddenly appear in legal headlines. There was a build-up. It started small, grew bigger, and became a pattern even his father could no longer ignore. King Harris, the son of music legends T and Tiny, recently sparked major debate online. On Wednesday, August 31st, he shared on social media that he'd been arrested. His mugshot circulated online, and he later posted on Instagram to share his side of the story. This happened in 2022, and what was the arrest for? Harris faced backlash when it was revealed he was reportedly taken into custody for a minor traffic violation, failing to wear a seatbelt. For most people, that's just a ticket. Pulled over, given a citation, and sent home. But King being King turned it into something bigger. After his arrest and mugshot went viral, he posted a selfie on Instagram, pointing his middle finger, saying, "I'm back, __12, wild beast." In another story he wrote, Maine, a little minor setback, FA a major comeback. __him. Many question why a teen living a privileged life will be running into the law. That reaction fueled the internet frenzy. People couldn't understand why someone born into wealth, opportunity, and a family with connections would glorify a seatbelt violation. The public voiced their opinions. 2. One user tweeted, "Born into wealth, but you want to be a goon. Why can't you just enjoy being rich in silence?" But the part that mattered most was his father's response. T said, "If he keep this side up, he's going to prison. Ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing I'm going to be able to do about it," T said. "Because I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly how it's going to turn out." T says he's already had that conversation with his son, describing Harris as a good kid chasing the wrong path. T wasn't joking. He served time in federal prison himself and knows exactly what that path looks like. He even shared on Instagram Live that his own son was heading in that direction. But it didn't stop there. Jail records show a warrant for King's arrest in Pickens County for failure to appear in court. In August 2022, he was charged with speeding, knowingly driving on a suspended license, and driving under the influence of drugs. So the seatbelt arrest wasn't the full story. He had multiple charges from that period and wasn't showing up to court. Fast forward to October 2024. King Harris pulled out in front of a Dunwoody police officer at a gas station, nearly hitting the officer's cruiser. The 19-year-old son of Atlanta rapper and actor T was arrested that week. Investigators noted that the officer smelled marijuana coming from the car, and when they approached Harris, they saw he had a gun on his hip. The officer then instructed him to put his hands on the steering wheel. The officer noticed the smell of marijuana and saw a gun on King's hip. When he ran King's information, he discovered a warrant from Pickens County for failure to appear in court. The officer noted that King Harris was cooperative during the arrest. "Mr. Harris was cooperative, and I removed the firearm from his hip with no issue," he said. "I then had Mr. Harris step out of the vehicle, place handcuffs on him, conducted a pat-down, and place him into the rear of my patrol vehicle. At least King cooperated with the officers. That worked in his favor. T.I.'s son was arrested and taken to DeKalb County Jail for booking and his mugshot. King was in the car with 2 others, and a search allegedly found 2 small baggies of marijuana. One companion was cited for marijuana possession but not arrested. Earlier, T spoke about trying to discipline his son. He done got all the whoopings and punishment. I did everything as a child you could do to him. So now you're gonna have to go through it and get through it. Ain't nothing me, mama, or anybody else can say about it. That statement is heavy." T was telling the public he had done all he could as a parent. The rest was on King. That feeling of a father watching his son make choices he cannot control is a recurring theme in this story. Because legal trouble was only part of what pulled King Harris into chaos. There were also the people around him, the relationships he was forming, and the conflicts he was stepping into, all of which would put him in the spotlight even more. The part that really set the internet on fire was King Harris's relationships, especially the drama with his girlfriend and the impact on the Harris family. The young rapper is dating a woman known as Big Nana, who was pregnant with his child. T revealed the news on Atlanta radio station Hot 107.9 while promoting his song Thank God in August 2024. He said, "I got a grandson on the way. King's about to have a son." He jokingly added, "I told him I'ma make this the greatest gangster of all time. I will raise this child to torture you the way you tortured me. I promise there will be an indictment in this young one." Though T laughed. The comment reflected the reality of the challenges King had put him through. Weeks later, King and Big Nana welcomed their son in November. He also released a song titled Dear Son, dedicated to his baby boy, now 5809, and King Jr., writing on Instagram, "Time to take over," as he marked the start in fatherhood. King Harris Jr. had entered the world, and for a moment, it seemed like this could be a turning point. A young father might be ready to take things seriously, but the drama with the women in his life was just beginning. The mother of his child, known as Big Na, has mostly stayed out of the public spotlight, but the internet has continued paying close attention to every part of King's romantic life. As a celebrity kid, King's relationships have always been a topic of interest. Many people keep asking the same question across social media, blogs, and YouTube channels. Who is King Harris's girlfriend? The answer has not always been clear, because King has been linked to several people over time. The situation involving the girlfriend speaking in court about King and T is part of a much larger pattern. The Harris family has faced accusations and legal challenges from different directions. I end her post. Peterson accused the Harrises of mocking alleged victims while claiming, "The feds already have this. I think the fans need it." She also shared alleged text messages said to involve King Harris and a young woman who was described as trafficked. Peterson claimed the girl's family contacted her legal team because they fear their child had become involved in a network connected to the Harris family. These are allegations, and they have not been proven in court. However, the fact that King's name was mentioned alongside his parents in these claims shows how complicated the situation had become that a defamation lawsuit Peterson filed against the couple was mostly dismissed in March, with the court ordering her to pay nearly $97,000 in legal fees. That legal move did not go in Peterson's favor, and the court required her to cover the Harris family's legal costs. But in the court of public opinion, the impact had already spread. King Harris, a young man just entering his 20s, was now being mentioned in controversies that went far beyond traffic violations or missed court dates. His name was appearing in conversations that no parent would want connected to their child, regardless of fame or wealth. And then came the fight at the Falcons GA. It's been quite a year for King Harris. Over the past year, the 20-year-old has been in the headline for major incidents, including a heated public altercation with his parents, T and Tiny Harris, at a Falcons game. That confrontation was caught on camera and circulated widely, shocking viewers. In November 2023, Harris got into a highly publicized argument with his father during a live-streamed family event. The dispute began at an Atlanta Falcons game, where Harris argued on Instagram Live that he had been raised mainly by his grandmother rather than in luxury, a claim his parents disputed in real time. King insisted he didn't grow up in the lap of luxury, while T and Tiny pushed back immediately. T later described the incident as a typical family disagreement, but the internet saw it as evidence of a fractured family. Combined with the girlfriend speaking out, legal troubles, arrests, and allegations, the story paints a picture of a young man struggling under public scrutiny. The girlfriend situation, which inspired the title of this video, fits into this pattern. When someone close to King speaks publicly, whether in court or on social media, it adds another layer to an already complex story. People in King's inner circle are speaking up, and their statements do not reflect well on him or the family's image. If you thought King Harris would slow down or avoid the spotlight after the arrest and family drama, you'd be wrong. In February 2026, he jumped headfirst into one of the biggest rap beefs of the year, his father, T, versus 50 Cent. The feud between 50 Cent and T dates back years to a proposed resumed battle between the two, which T was eager to do. But according to him, 50 Cent backed out. This tension had been simmering for a long time, but in February 2026, it escalated in a way nobody expected. T, while promoting his Kill the King album and sharing his new song, Let Him Know, didn't hold back in responding to 50 Cent, who had begun sending shots on Instagram. After releasing a snippet of his diss track War on Sunday, February 22nd, T doubled down with another snippet premiering on Atlanta's Hot 107.9 on Monday. February 23rd, the back and forth intensified after 50 Cent posted an unflattering photo of T.I.'s wife, Tiny Harris. That act lit the match, and the Harris family went on the offensive. The social media battle between 50 Cent and T extended to T.I.'s son, King Harris. King ended the feud after 50 shared the controversial photo, trolling the mogul and referencing 50's late mother, Sabrina Jackson. King didn't hold back, responding aggressively under 50's post with comments like, "Where your mama?" alongside eyes emojis. The situation escalated further when King shared a series of Instagram stories aimed at 50 Cent, including a post featuring a tombstone engraved with the name and lifespan of 50's late mother, Sabrina Jackson. The online feud had become personal, messy, and public, drawing King Harris fully into one of the year's biggest rap battles.